And then you've got your place like Your Most Haunted, which is a serious investigation. There are no celebrities. We have had celebrities on there.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the other thing you've got to remember is we don't just turn up at these places and go in. There's an awful lot of research from our point of view. So you get it up there, you know exactly what you're doing, and you know.
But this is the whole thing about the, paranormal programming. Is it a bad thing? Because you've got to look at when this sort of explosion started, when Most Haunted first came on the air. Before that, there were paranormal programs, but they weren't very investigative. They were usually, you know, a mid-shot of somebody just talking about a place, a few general views of the place put in, and a few ghost stories, maybe an eyewitness. But this was the first show, Most Haunted was the first show that really made you live that haunted experience. But because of that, there's been a multitude of copycat programs. Is that a bad thing? I'm going to throw it over to you. Is it a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think there's a huge interest now in paranormal. I mean, there always was. I mean, it goes back to the Victorian days, and you know, where there was the first real sort of boom, and that occurred because, you know, after the First World War, there were so many people that lost, you know, loved ones and so on. So they wanted to see if they could contact them to talk to their dead son or brother or father and so on. And so that's what happened. And it all kicked off in the Victorian times, and then it went very, very quiet for many, many years. And then Most Haunted came along, seemingly to a sort of, I think it was just after 9/11 as well, and the sort of the terrorism thing started, and everybody was sort of wondering what on earth's going on, and it was all a little bit frightening. And then you have this little program that's come on that's sort of, you know, sort of, no one's ever seen anything like it before on television, and as Karl said, it's just sort of taken off this, you know, many people have copied many different styles of that type of programming.
You hit the nail on the head there, because it's people hadn't seen it before. Like you're saying, the stories and everything, they're all in your imagination, and people are telling you what happened, but for the first time ever.
I think it's complementary as well when other people are doing lots of different types of programming.
You know, with the mediums visited, I mean, many times for years and years, well before I did Most Haunted, I used to have little parties at my house where 5 or 6 people would come in, and a medium would be in there, and we'd have a reading, and it was... You know,
I've got to say though, I mean, I disagree slightly with what you're saying, is that
well, I didn't have a chance to finish.
Well, you'll get that chance in a minute.
Interrupted.
You'll get the chance in a minute. This is my show. I think imitation is the last resort of the unimaginative. And the trouble is with, I mean, I've stole that from Oscar Wilde, but I think on this particular thing that paranormal programming when we started something like Most Haunted, it was something brand new. But that's now become the benchmark for every other paranormal program. You take, no matter what paranormal program you see out there, it is a copy of Most Haunted in some way, shape or form. There's nothing new. No one is out there thinking, I'm going to start something new, like we did when we started Most Haunted. There was this, we saw there was this huge gap in, I'm not feeling it, I'm just watching it. And we made people feel it. But what's the next step? And this is where people should now be looking at, what is the next step of the paranormal? Now you can finish.
That's okay, you've said it all.
Cool. Well, that's good. But what is the next step? Tell me. Geoff, what's the next step?
Well, you know, you should be working on that.
I am working on that. No, this is a good way forward for the next step.
Just going back to the imitations, I think the trouble is you get some really good groups out there, and you get some really bad ones, real shysters, and you know that's when it all gets a bit iffy.
I've got to say this is the other thing I want to go now. I don't want to go back on a whole fraudulent mediums thing, but should mediums always be a part of a paranormal investigation? Cath, what do you think?
God, I don't know. For me, it almost felt when we've been doing the shows that we need somebody to open the seance, or we feel it's protection more for me, but I don't know if I believe any of it now anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think that you need a medium to be a part of a paranormal investigation. I think that you can go off. I mean, you guys know, you two have gone off and you've done stuff together, and myself and Cath have, and we haven't had a medium, and we've had some fantastic phenomena that we've recorded.
And we've been okay since.
Yeah, absolutely. No, as long as you know what you're doing, and as long as you've read and you've researched, and you know, you feel safe with what you're doing, then absolutely fine. Depends on the individual, depends what the individual paranormal group wants. If they feel they want a medium, fair enough. But me personally, it's my point of view, I don't think that you do need a medium to assist you in any paranormal investigation.
Well, I'm going to have to cut in there because we're going to have to take a break now. But I want to hear your comments after the break, so please join us in a very, very short time.